Alright, it all comes down to this. DeAndre Ayton will officially be a free agent later today when he does clear waivers, approximately at 5 PM Eastern Time if I remember correctly. And well, according to reports, he is picking between two final teams, one of which being our very own Los Angeles Lakers, and the other team being the team that he signed his former contract with, that being the Indiana Pacers. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, back in 2022, he signed that max contract with them, they gave him the contract and he accepted it, but as a restricted free agent, then at that time the Phoenix Suns, who he did play for, matched the contract and therefore retained him. But does simply showing interest in him at that time still translate to right now? Well, that definitely is up for debate here, but if you ask me, probably not to the same level. I mean, we're talking about a team that's coming off a trip to the NBA Finals, but a team that's definitely going to look different next season, with the primary factor with that being their point guard, Tyrese Haliburton. Of course, he unfortunately tore his Achilles and absolutely ruptured his Achilles in Game 7. He'll be out for the entirety of next season, barring a miraculous comeback or a very fast-paced recovery. He'll be out for the entirety of next season, meaning that DeAndre Ayton won't have a point guard to play with, not a true point guard to play with anyways. I mean, kind of with Andrew Nembhard, kind of with TJ McConnell. Maybe they pick up a point guard off the free agent market, but he won't be playing with Tyrese Haliburton for the next season, and with him likely to sign a one-year contract, he probably wants to play with a team that's actually at their best and does have their best player on the court for the entirety of that season, which the Pacers won't. Then number 2 here, they are very cheap and notoriously cheap at that. They just let their starting center walk after coming off a trip to the NBA Finals, that being Miles Turner, going to their rival Milwaukee Bucks team, so that says a lot about their front office. Are they even willing to go into the tax to sign DeAndre Ayton? Not only this season, which they won't exactly be in the tax with him, they'll be pretty close to it. Depending on how they fill out the rest of their roster, they might be. But looking toward the future, they definitely are pushing that tax line. I mean, they currently have a higher payroll in 2026-27 than they do in 2025-26, with higher paid salaries like Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard, TJ McConnell, those going up over time, and then not to mention them having to still pay Benedict Mathurin. They might choose not to pay a guy like DeAndre Ayton rather than pay him and go into the luxury tax. Again, they're notoriously cheap, and barring a dramatic change in mindset from their front office, which again they have not really been shown the willingness to do up until this point, I'm not sure they give DeAndre Ayton that contract that he's looking for, which does happen to be the full mid-level exception. And yes, they do have it to offer if they want to, and again, if they eventually want to pay the tax later on. They have their full non-taxpayer mid-level exception, the full $14.1 million amount, which is in fact more than the Lakers have to offer him. The Lakers had that, but they split it up between Jake LaRavia and then a future signing which they're hoping for to be DeAndre Ayton, but at this point they have $8.3 million left of it compared to Indiana that has the full $14.1 million amount. So I guess if it would come down to money, and barring Indiana not being cheap here, then maybe Ayton might take their contract. But again, going back to the fit, availability, actually having their star player on the court, or star players for that fact with the Lakers, Luka Doncic, LeBron, and maybe if you want to throw Austin Reeves into that category. But regardless, the Lakers are much healthier. They have their actual playmakers and point guards on the court to play with DeAndre Ayton, and I imagine they'll factor in heavily to his final choice. After all, there was a report directly from Shams Charania that said that Ayton is looking to play for a winning situation. I mean, coming from Portland, them having not made the playoffs in either year that he was there, prior to that playing with the Phoenix Suns and they were a whole lot better, making it to the NBA Finals back in 2021, I think he wants to get back to that and show that he can play for and contribute to a winning team, even at the highest level. Which, in my opinion, even though the Pacers are coming off a trip to the NBA Finals, would point more to the Lakers here for next season compared to the Indiana Pacers. Yes, again, he would take less money with their team, roughly $6 million less compared to what the Pacers could offer, again if they would even offer it to him, but that's not really a big deal for him. Again, according to the Shams report, wanting to play for a winning situation, and the fact that regardless he will be making plenty of money next season. Even after the contract buyout, he is still guaranteed $25 million, even if he would not even play next season, wouldn't sign with the team. With the Lakers contract, he would then get around $33 million, so I don't think that's a big problem for him. Getting roughly that same contract amount that he was guaranteed only a small pay cut, roughly 1.8 million less. I don't think that's a gigantic deal for him if the Shams report does in fact turn out to be true and if he does want to play for a winning situation. And well, like I keep talking about, I think the Lakers are a great fit for him. I mean, no matter what we look at it, the winning situation, they were the 3rd seed last season. They were simply a center short of probably making it further in my opinion, and that still does happen to be true right now. I mean, take a look at their current 15-man roster. They have pretty much every spot filled besides a center, neither a starter or a backup center. Unless you want to argue that Trey Jemison is backup center material. Or for Maxi Kleber, not really a true center, can play there at times, but he's obviously not going to be their starter, nor direct backup center full time. So pointing to that here, DeAndre Ayton has probably no better opportunity for playing time and a secure role with any team, let alone a true contending team, than the Los Angeles Lakers. Simply put, they give him the best combination of role, fit, championship ability or championship outlook, maybe, at least contention, a winning situation, a great long-term outlook with Luka Doncic. I mean, he obviously played at his best with a great playmaker like Chris Paul back in Phoenix, so pairing him back up with a player like that, kind of like that anyway with Luka Doncic and LeBron James for at least 1 year for that fact, would be a pretty good long-term timeline for him, both in the short term and long term as well. Now, with all of that in mind here, could there potentially be a Darkhorse team that comes in and offers him the same contract that the Pacers could, and would actually be a better situation for him? Maybe. Up until this point, we haven't heard it reported, but I guess you could make an argument for a few teams, one of which currently being the Golden State Warriors. They have the ability to offer their full non-tax pyramid level exception, much like the Pacers do, and at the moment, they don't really have a current starting center. I mean, they have a little more competition compared to the Lakers, having a guy like Trace Jackson-Davis and their rookie from last season, Quinton Post rather, two guys that played rotation minutes for them and actually are legitimate centers and rotation level centers, unlike the Lakers have in my opinion. But they do have the full amount to offer him. Reports say they've had more interest in a guy like Al Horford up until this point, probably trying to get him for a cheaper, more short-term contract rather than committing more money to kind of a red flag like DeAndre Ayton in some ways, which we do have to acknowledge here. The locker room issues, the chemistry issues, off-court issues in general, there definitely is some stuff to factor in with him, which is probably why no team, not even the Lakers, will offer him beyond a 1-year contract. Maybe, I guess, a 1+1 kind of deal, hopefully being a team option rather than a player option, but no team is going to come out of nowhere and offer him a 4-year contract. And if they would, I would be genuinely shocked and I guess proven wrong at that too. But again, it appears to be coming down to 2 final teams here, your very own Los Angeles Lakers and the Indiana Pacers. So I guess we'll kind of find out what DeAndre Ayton is truly looking at here. Is he truly looking for a good fit and the best winning situation for him? Again, in my opinion, that's the Lakers here. Or is he looking for more money? And then on top of that, we'll find out what the Pacers front office is made of. Are they willing to spend? Are they willing to go at least a little bit into the luxury tax? Prove that they're simply a better and more happy spending team than the Bulls, for example, who are probably the worst in the entire NBA, only having dipped into the luxury tax one time in team history. But apart from that, we'll find out what the Pacers are made of, what DeAndre Ayton is made of and his mentality is made of, and what the Lakers are made of and if they made the right choice to split up their tax pyramid level between Jake LaRavia and a future free agent, which they are hoping and we're hoping to be DeAndre Ayton. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the DeAndre Ayton situation? Which team that he'll eventually pick between? Will it be the Lakers? Will it be the Pacers? What will it come down to for him? And are the Lakers the best choice for him in your opinion? Or do you even want him for that fact? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I would greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.